Hey everyone, it's Courtney, and welcome to the Pretty Blonde Banter mini podcast. So, in today's podcast, I am doing a follow up to a podcast that I did the other day, and it has kind of got some people going, which is exciting because that's what podcasts are all about, right? To make you think and get you kind of, you know, just get you going. and I did one the other day, Northern men versus Southern men. And that was just my take, my experience since moving back up to New England, on the differences that I've noticed between Northern men and Southern men. So, first off, I had some guys that were commenting that they were thinking I was talking about them, because they were talking about like other northern states, like um what's a northern state, like Minnesota. Jesus, I need to go back to school and study geography again. Oh my god. I am blonde, so that's my excuse. But yeah, I wasn't really talking about like that north or anything. I've never really like been there, so I'm just more talking about like Northeast New England, specifically New England, because that's the area that I'm in. So that's what I'm dealing with. And then for the South, I was in Tennessee, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Arkansas, a little bit of Georgia, that sort of southern, like the Bible Belt area. That's what I was referring to. So I got a couple messages from a couple different guys, and most of these messages were kind of the same. So I'm just going to do a brief summary on them. So let me grab my phone here and let's see. All right. These guys were basically saying, and this was in comment to me talking about the dating, like, one thing that I noticed when I was here, for the first time and was being asked out, was everyone was asking me, like, do you want to go grab a drink? Do you want to go get a coffee? Like, and I was so weirded out by that because I don't know. I'm gonna talk like my best friend Jen. Jen, if you're listening, hi baby. But as Jen would say, going out for a coffee or a drink, that's for your friends. You're not going out to do that stuff with somebody that you want to fuck. That's what Jen would say. And she's right. Like for me, yeah, going for a coffee or getting a drink, that's what I do with my girlfriends. That's not what I want to do with a man that I'm like, romantically interested in or wanting to get to know or something like that. Like, no. And again, to me, I think that dates should be high value, and that's what dates used to be back in the day, was high value. They back in the day, they did it up right. Hell, you guys were getting dressed up, us girls were wearing nice dresses and stuff, and going out for dinner, and then maybe going for a drive, or going for an ice cream, or playing mini golf, or things like that. That's what we were doing. And now it's, you want to go sit at a coffee shop, or do you want to go sit at a bar? Like, are you kidding? Anyways, so these guys, what they were saying was that they tend to ask a woman to go out for coffee or for a drink to basically see if she's kind of interested in them, and to see if going out on a date would happen. And I mean, I get it, a little bit. I'm trying, but to me, that just screams. I know I'm gonna make some guys not happy with me with this, but again, this is just my opinion. To me, that screams, I am a beta male. Like, I am not an alpha, I'm a beta, and I can't step up. I'm afraid of rejection, and I can't step up, so I'm just going to do the least amount of effort ever, And that's just not attractive to me. Like I said in my last video, I am a non-feminist. I am very much a traditionalist. I believe that I believe in the old school ways, where men were men, women were women, and that's just my beliefs. Um, I did get a text from another friend, and I asked him if I could read his text message on here, because it actually did kind of tie into how women are kind of an issue with this. So let me pull up his text here, and I'm going to read it because I do agree with a lot that he says. So, he says, one reason guys want a coffee date first or to cook at home is because they want to get to know you and talk a bit. But a lot of women these days just want a free meal. There's a term for it, but I can't think of it right now. I still prefer to go to eat, but I don't disagree with them. I just like to eat. But why should I spend a bunch of money on a girl who's probably isn't interested in me, but just wants a nice meal for free? Guys are honestly just over modern women and how they conduct themselves. Yes, yes, I agree with that so much. I think men should be over modern women. I think this whole feminist movement of women having to be, women having to be something that we're not. I'm just going to put it that way. I get it. Like, the whole feminist movement has ruined everything. It has ruined a lot of women. It has made women think that we need to be everything, and my problem with that is that it has ruined just the whole core of dating and relationships and love and marriage. So yeah, I really do believe women do have a strong part in this. I believe that both genders, affect each other. Men who are not masculine create women who are not feminine. Women who take advantage of men are men that take advantage of women, and it's just a revolving door that just keeps going around, and it's sad that we're like that now. These modern women have made it difficult for those of us who are very traditional, who are very conservative, who just like the old ways of things. And it sucks. It really does suck. As far as the women who are in for a free meal, I would be interested in hearing from the guys on this one. How often, when you're on a date, have you felt that that's the case? And I'm being genuine. Like, I really want to know. I really want to know if this is something that is widely experienced, and is it something that a lot of women do? When I was in the South, I didn't see that very much. At least not with like the types of women that I surrounded myself with. So I don't know. I'm very interested in that, to see how often that happens with you fellas. I find it to be so disgusting that women even do that, because clearly, it's hard to find a really good guy that still has the traditional old school values and does do a date the right way. And to just use him for a fucking meal, that's just so gross to me. I mean, that's disgusting. For any of you men who have experienced that, I'm sorry. That is so sad. That should never happen. So while we're on this follow-up, I did want to mention in some things too that I do not like about Southern men. Since my Northern guys, they really took one for the team in the last one, let me rag on the Southern men for a little bit in this one. one thing about Southern men is they are gentlemanly, don't get me wrong, but I have found that they are very, if they're married or if they have a girlfriend, they will still hit on you and they will still try and chase you. Um, so I think I've never done this, but I pretty much bet that they're a lot more open to cheating and being dishonest. I noticed that a lot. And I know that one of my friends that I was working with up here, one of the other vendors that did some greenhouse stuff, he was from Alabama and he was married and he would talk about his wife all the time. And then the second that he was, up here working, he was talking about all these different women that he was hooking up with up here and like it was nothing. I mean, it's like, okay. Um, but I did notice that the Southern men are a bit more unfaithful and they don't stay true. They may be gentlemen. I mean, like the ones who are single and stuff, they're gentlemen, don't get me wrong. But I find, compared to especially the married or dating men up here, the men up here, I don't really see them that flirtatious as much as the Southern men. Southern men are a lot more high maintenance than Northern guys. Like Southern men, they, if they're going, like on a date or something, a lot of them will almost dress nicer than I would, which is kind of crazy. They're all about like their boat shoes and their tan pants or tan shorts or whatever, and their Vineyard Vines shirts. That's what they're all about. That's like the Southern man staple. Whereas I find here, the guys that I've seen, they aren't as high maintenance. They are much more just men, like they're not foo-foo and all about themselves, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, I like a guy that dresses up a little bit, but when I go out with a guy, like I am much more turned on if, he's just in, like a nice pair of jeans and a shirt and a jacket or whatever. We don't need to get all dressed up like we're going to an Easter service at church, like don't need to go that much. But again, that's just my personal thing. That's my personal bit. Some women might feel the exact same. Some women might feel the exact opposite. It just depends. All right, so I think I'm going to cut this one here. Definitely, definitely chime in, the fellas. I would love to hear the fellas' point of view with this little bit, the Northern versus Southern. I think it's great. I am also working on maybe doing something up so that I can have some of you guys on this podcast with me. I think that might be kind of cool, and it'd be nice to have that banter back and forth. So stay tuned. I'm going to see what I can finagle. I'm not a technology person, so it's amazing that I figured out how to get this Blue Yeti microphone working with my laptop. I mean, that took some effort. But no, seriously, I'm going to see what I can do. So stay tuned for that. Next week, I will also be doing another deep dive thing about my life. It's going to be another one that's probably going to be I know it's going to be a hard one to talk about. But I'm going to do that one and then some more lighthearted things. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. Be safe. And I will catch you guys in the next podcast. All right. See you later. Bye.